When the galaxy sent out a desperate distress call, billions listened, but no one answered. Worlds that once bragged about their fleets fell silent. Empires retreated into fear. And just when it seemed the signal would fade into nothing, something unexpected happened. Earth, dismissed as a primitive, reckless death world, answered, not with hesitation, not with fear, but with humans marching straight into the crisis with that strange mix of courage and chaos only our species seems to possess. And the galaxy? It wasn't ready. In the quiet dark between stars, a single distress signal drifted across the void. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was simply terrified. A trembling call for help from a small science colony on the edge of the galactic frontier. At first, the message was met with the usual responses, automated acknowledgments, a few reroutes, some administrative shuffling, and then nothing. Silence. A silence that stretched thin, like something waiting to snap. That was the first sign something was wrong. Normally, any colony distress pinged militaries, councils, even private mercenary fleets. But this time, the galaxy's proud empires stiffened. Their admirals whispered excuses, their leaders stalled. Their citizens pretended not to hear. Why? Because the threat behind that distress signal had a name. The Vexis. They were an apex predator species evolved from nightmare worlds, moving in coordinated swarms, stripping entire planets clean with a calm, terrifying precision. And the moment their presence was detected, most of the galaxy made the same decision. Don't get involved. Many listened. None answered. Well, almost none. Because far away on a little blue world the galaxy labeled a death world, the message didn't fade into silence. Humans, those strange, chaotic creatures who punched above their weight in every direction, heard it. And they did what humans always do when someone screams for help. They ran toward the danger. At first, the galactic network nearly crashed from the reaction. The idea of Earth responding was absurd. Humans were infamous. Too fearless. Too emotional. Too stubbornly attached to ideals like, no one gets left behind. So when their reply came through, the rest of the galaxy froze. This is Terran Emergency Response Fleet 7, we're on our way. Just like that. Calm, confident, and absolutely insane. Within 30 minutes, Earth scrambled, a fleet small compared to galactic giants, but fiercely engineered. Human ships lacked the elegant symmetry of High Council cruisers or the shimmering hulls of the Ardennes. No, the Terran vessels looked like someone welded determination into steel and strapped engines to it. Brutal, functional, unapologetic. Aliens monitoring the situation watched in disbelief as those blocky, armored ships warped straight into contested space without hesitation. The Vexis were already there. The colony, little more than domes and scientific outposts, was clinging to survival behind flickering shields. Civilian families huddled under emergency lights as the outer perimeter collapsed. On live broadcast feeds, alien observers whispered, "They're too late." Even humans can't turn this around. But humans are predictable in only one way: they refuse to quit. The Terran fleet didn't arrive cautiously or respectfully. They tore into real space like a hammer hitting glass. Engines screaming, hulls glowing, weapons charging before their signatures even stabilized. It was reckless, it was messy, and it was exactly what the situation needed. The Vexis swarm turned toward the Terran ships, expecting an easy kill. They were wrong. The human commander, Captain Hajun Park, activated an open channel to the colony. His voice was steady, almost casual, like this wasn't a battle against legendary planetary predators. "Evac transport is inbound. Hold tight and don't die." That would be inconvenient. It wasn't bravado. It was human humor, the kind that appears right when fear tries to take over. The colonists laughed through tears. Then the real fight began. Human vessels didn't dance around the enemy like elegant galactic fleets. They charged. Shields flared. Armor shrieked under pressure. Turrets spun and spat molten fire, carving through the Vexis with brutal efficiency. Where other species used precise long-range tactics, humans adapted on the fly, ramming when necessary, shielding weaker ships with their own hulls, improvising again and again. The Vexis swarm hesitated. They weren't used to prey that fought back like cornered gods. Across the galaxy, viewers watched in stunned silence as humans executed maneuvers that defied conventional logic. One destroyer, heavily damaged, accelerated straight into the heart of the swarm, releasing a shock burst that scattered predators like startled birds. The crew survived by using emergency exosuits and sheer stubborn refusal to die. Another human ship deployed atmospheric drones, military units originally designed for wildfire rescue missions. Within minutes, they were burning through the swarm, repurposed as lethal microcombatants. Every alien watching was thinking the same thing. These Deathworlders, they're terrifying. And yet, as brutal as the humans were, something else stood out. Their purpose wasn't to win glory. It was to save the colonists. Transport ships slipped past the chaos, cloaked by human shielding tactics. They landed at the colony, scooping up families, scientists, children. Some colonists didn't want to leave, claiming they could hold out longer, but human marines practically dragged them on board. "No heroics," a sergeant muttered. "That's our job." When the last evac shuttle lifted off, Captain Park made a decision that transmitted across the galaxy and instantly became legend. He ordered his fleet to stay behind, not to retreat. Not to regroup, but to block the Vexis until the colonists reached safety. It was madness, and humans executed it flawlessly. The Terran ships formed a wall, imperfect, dented, burning, but unbroken. They held their line as the Vexis slammed into them, hulls buckled. Alarms shrieked. One cruiser lost 2 engines but kept firing until its cannons melted. Human crews fought with the kind of desperation that turns battles into myths. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, the evac convoy sent the signal, "We're clear." Only then did Captain Park pull his fleet out, limping but alive. The Vexis were forced to withdraw, too much of their swarm shattered by the human assault. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy witnessed something it had forgotten. A species that didn't run, didn't bow, didn't hide. A species that answered. Later, when commanders from dozens of civilizations demanded to know why humans intervened, Captain Park shrugged. They asked for help. No one else responded. Simple as that. The phrase spread like wildfire. Engraved into monuments, whispered in academies, taught in military schools as the moment the galaxy realized Earth wasn't just a death world, it was a promise. From that day on, whenever a distress call echoed through the stars, the galaxy listened differently, because everyone knew the same truth, if all else failed. If every empire fell silent, if every fleet turned away, the Deathworlders would come, humans would come, and the universe would never be the same.